Well, hello and welcome to another guest recording episode, which I'm super excited about. And today I've got Kyle McGuiness coming on. Now, I don't actually know an awful lot about his story. He's a musician. I can't speak today. And he was signposted. Don't know if that's the right word to say, but anyway, he's friends with Kirsty. So he's friends with Kirsty, who was on a few weeks ago talking about her Unsure to Unstoppable story. And Kyle reached out, and I'm so excited to have him on today. So I will be back with Kyle, and we'll hear all about his story. Excited to share it with you guys today. All right, so I'm joined by Kyle, and he's going to take us through his incredible story. I can't wait to hear all about it. So, for anyone that's meeting you for the first time, Kyle, thank you so much for coming on, by the way. Who is Kyle in this kind of season of life?
No, thanks for the intro, but incredible story. We're getting there. I'm doing my best, but we'll see how that goes. But me, I mean, now I'm trying to be an actor. I say trying because it seems extremely difficult to kind of get in. But I've sort of for the last 6 years put everything else in my life around it to essentially be able to support me pursuing acting. Everything uh, from sort of house moves to starting businesses to support me through to having media kind of businesses to then get me closer to the industry and meet people as well. So everything that I've done has sort of been pushing towards the one goal, and it's this year it's been the best one so far, and hopefully the train just continues.
Absolutely. So what's lighting you up as far as challenging you the most at the moment? And we'll go into the like kind of backstory and stuff like that as well.
I I mean, it's challenging not being on set every day is sort of how I see it, but end of the day, it's not a given, and it's only challenging because I haven't got there yet. And in
Mhm.
terms of being a supporting actor or some sort of reoccurring actor in something, it's just a case of putting everything in place to give me the best possible shot at getting those kind of parts. So it's as much as it's challenging, it's just the sort of the day to day. It is the job. I don't really see it as a challenge. Just it just is what it is.
Amazing, amazing. Right, so take us back. So where were the early chapters that shaped you into the person that you are today? So this whole podcast, all the guest episodes are all to do with like an unsure to unstoppable kind of story.
Okay.
So if you were
Yeah.
to go back,
Yeah.
however
Yeah.
however far you want to go, where does it kind of start? Where does it all start for you?
Yeah, so for that, we're going back to probably primary six
Wow.
in school. Yeah, so um, kind of normal kids into football and other things like that. Grew up in Alloa, which is a small town just outside of Stirling. Not much goes on. It tends to be the same kind of repetition of jobs and kind of where I grew up to get a trade was like that's what everyone was aspiring for. If you manage to get a trade, then that's it. You're set for life, and that was the sort of mentality. But I mean, even before kind of primary six and stuff, I always had kind of big dreams, not really knowing kind of why or where those sort of big dreams were kind of coming from. But I was always drawn to film, probably not filmmaking back then, but my dad, he was a really big advocate for film and just kind of loved every sense. He was into cameras and stuff when I was younger as well, so we'd be out kind of taking pictures and like kind of family videos and stuff. But in primary school, I think when I was in primary five, a new teacher started, and then we had a drama club that then started in the school. I got involved in that, really enjoyed it, and then that teacher ended up being my teacher in primary seven. So for those 2 years, I was sort of going to his class, just enjoying it. But then halfway through primary six, he started his own drama club through in Dollar, which was a town close by. And it sounds really kind of dodgy now, but I was like setting myself up to be like abducted or something. I don't know. So this kind of particular gent, he would pick me up from the school gates after school, and I never told anyone about this. None of my classmates,
Wow.
my mum, my dad, not one of them knew that I was kind of going to this class.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I was lucky in the way that my mum she worked she kind of worked a lot, and she'd be back about 3:30 in time for me getting back from school. She'd make dinner and then she'd be out again until like 9:30 at night. And this was her like every night. She was an aerobics instructor and a hairdresser. So that I'd be kind of left from
Yeah.
P5 onwards. So kind of getting picked up and sneaking away, it wasn't a problem. So I'd kind of go through to Dollar, would do the drama class a couple of hours, and he'd drop me off, and I'd be back home before my mum even got home. And I'd done that for a couple of years almost. And my first ever sort of play as such, I played a Glasgow Ned at the time. And I remember getting my fringe dyed blonde, and I had a Burberry cap that would sit way up here.
Right.
And it was a lot of fun. And from that, been probably from those interactions, I knew that it was something that I wanted to do and sort of pursue in my life. And then I went on to the high school. That teacher, I either lost touch with him or he stopped his drama club, I don't know. But I ended up in a drama club in Stirling. And then I think I'd done a couple of plays from memory, nothing big. And then sort of high school was coming and people were kind of almost kind of finding out about I was kind of doing drama and stuff. And being in high school then, it just wasn't
Yeah.
a cool thing to do. So um, my dad was a martial artist, and I'd always kind of been in and out of kind of martial arts through my young life, and then I decided to sort of pursue that from the age of about 14. And then I had my first fight in the cage when I was 16, and from there I just went off completely from sort of arts and acting and things like that, and it was never a thought again.
Hmm.
And then like I say, I pursued martial arts. I competed for about 12 years from I was 16 until I was about 28. Competed in MMA, boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I still train and compete in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Need to do a bit more of it, but it's always the same. You're always kind of chasing your tail.
Yeah.
But, yeah, from then it was about 6 years ago, 2019. Um, my best mate and business partner now, he'd went to acting school. It's just something that he'd always fancied, and he was kind of telling me and the guys and stuff, and it was just kind of starting to kind of spark in me. And
Hmm.
then he went to film school to be a cinematographer and a director.
Hmm.
And, and throughout his kind of time there, he lived in Glasgow and had a flat there as well. So you'd have all these kind of parties and stuff, kind of being at uni and things, and I'd meet all these kind of film students and people who were desperate to make things, and from there it just pretty much sparked it in me again. So I
Hmm.
decided to join an acting class and just sort of take things a step at a time and kind of figure it out as I went. So that's sort of up to about 6 years ago when I got back into it as such.
Okay. Amazing, amazing. And what is the challenges been then since obviously you totally went a sideswipe to do the martial arts. And so what's the challenges been within that? Like obviously you've had this dream since you were being young, and then you've went pivoted a bit, and then
Yeah.
you came full circle. Has there been a lot of challenge in there, like in order to get back? And you said about the high school, like obviously doing anything like that in high school, especially as a boy,
Yeah,
it's
back then,
hard going
totally.
in
Absolutely.
Scotland.
It was different.
Um, is that the thing that was like, okay, I can't do this then?
I don't think, I mean, I was never a bully victim as such, but everyone got a bit of kind of bullied in
Yeah.
the school that I was at. But
Mm-hmm.
it was more just I knew that if it got out and that's what I was pursuing, then it just wouldn't be the sort of cool
Mm-hmm.
thing to do. So maybe it was kind of peer pressure. Maybe it just wasn't the time for it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't sort of one moment or that kind of put me off. It was just a gradual move into to sort of something else, and I don't regret it because now I've got all these sort of skills through martial arts and sort of weapon skills
Absolutely.
that I now put into film for sort of fight choreography and things like that. So it has came sort of full circle around.
Mm-hmm.
But the main sort of challenges getting back into it was just figuring out the sort of business side of it,
Mm-hmm.
sort of film industry and acting, and how do you go from saying I want to act in films and TV to getting on TV, all
Yeah.
of that in between bit. There's no real kind of course for that. I mean, you can go learn acting and you can sort of improve your skills from
Yeah.
there. I mean, but it's one of those things that I mean, yes, you can have a sort of spark for it or kind of be destined for it, like kind of child actors and stuff. But there's no time where someone just comes and kind of gives you a piece of paper and says, right, you
Yeah.
can act now. It's a consistent thing, and if you're not putting the time into it, then you're not really going to grow. So it's that whole how do I put time into it and grow? But I now I don't have headshots yet. I don't have a show reel. How am I going to get an agent because I don't have a show reel? I need
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
on Spotlight, which is a website where all the actors' jobs are sort of posted and things, and
Hmm.
you can't get on that unless you've had so many credits. But I can't get
Mm.
credits unless I'm applying for jobs, and it was this
That's
whole
great too.
sort of
Yeah.
thing of just kind of trying to kind of navigate it, and everyone who's kind of coming through now, a step or two behind me, I'm now able to kind of guide them and give them some like kind of some way of a sort of traffic light system between, right, you're going to go this way, you're going to stop, you're going to get what you need. Now you can go over here, you get your headshots and build a bit of a path for it.
Hmm.
Whereas there just wasn't that when I was
Hmm.
starting out. And
Hmm.
even in the last 6 years, kind of content online has changed kind of massively
Hmm.
in the way of you can now go look at there's like an actors instructional kind of pages and stuff and talking about the business of film and acting. So I guess it's ever changing, which is
Yeah.
exciting.
Do you know, I done acting and performance in college, like
Right?
years ago, obviously a long, long time ago. And Spotlight was a thing then. So when
Yeah.
when we all graduated, that was like a thing that you went into. I didn't realize it was still going strong.
Yeah, it's certainly it's the main one within sort of UK anyway,
Hmm.
and kind of Europe and things. But the thing that kind of got me about Spotlight was when I first got on, they've sort of changed the entry requirements again now. But you either needed so many years in drama school or you needed X amount of credits.
Hmm.
And I'd signed myself up for an extras agency when I'd kind of first started out in sort of 2019, 2020, and I managed to get on set a few times and things, and I just kind of blagged it. Like I said, like I might have been a background character, but I was like character name Joe. So I
Yeah,
just kind of
yeah.
blagged it, and then I was on sort of I was in a Bollywood film, I was on The Rig, I was in Good Omens and things like that, and I just kind of blagged it and made these
Okay.
credits to be more than they were, and I managed to sort of get on Spotlight, which in turn
Good.
kind of got me my first agent and things as well a few years back.
Oh, amazing. So are you getting an agent and stuff like that just now?
Yeah, so I'm with Rolo
Amazing.
at RWG Management, and
Right.
he's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I'm getting put forward for every part for pretty much everything that's coming out on Netflix and Amazon. My name is in for at least one character on that. I'm not saying that I'm getting those auditions, but my name is at least in the room now.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that's
It's
a,
that whole thing. It's environment dictates into it. The more your name's getting put out there, the more it's going to get stuck.
yeah, yeah.
Amazing. So so was there a turning point you would have said between did you feel like you were lost or did you feel like what was the pull back to drama apart from your friend? Like was there a
Yeah.
thing that happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked in construction,
Hmm.
sort of doing the sort of business development side and the technical side. So I'd worked in like kind of builders merchants from I was 17.
Hmm.
I then sort of worked my way up through sales and things like that. Ended up like a business development manager and looking after different areas of Scotland and things, and kind of worked in a bit of everything from doors and door sets to concrete to roof tiles and things. And kind of through my kind of early mid 20s, I thought, this is great. There's a possibility that in my early 30s I could be a director here and
Mm.
be making decent money and company car and things. And I was like, that sounds all right. And then I got to like 27, like kind of 10 years in, around 6 years ago, and I was like, you know what, I'm like pretty much where I said I wanted to be. I'm making the money that I wanted to earn. I've got like wee house and stuff. Like, yeah, I was like, but it's still shite.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I absolutely
That's
hated
it.
and I
Yeah.
absolutely hated it. I've always been kind of entrepreneurial. I've always had sort of
Hmm.
other like kind of side hustles and businesses and
Hmm.
things. Kind of built a few businesses and kind of sold them through my early 20s and things. And I just wanted different. I wanted more. I believed that there was more for me,
Yeah.
and to be doing something that just I enjoy every single day. That's the main kind of crux of all of this for me. It's to be spending my time every day doing something that I enjoy, and it's
Yeah.
that's all that I really wish for. I mean, I seen my dad kind of passed away when he was 61 in 2021, and it's just I'm just like a man gone too young that I know he never got to do all he wanted to do. So it just essentially felt like I'm wasting my damn time here. And
Mm.
what if I get 30 years down and I'm like, why didn't I do that? I
Yeah.
just refuse to have any of those sort of questions. So I mean, it's not about sort of money or fame or anything. It's just a lifestyle. I absolutely
Mhm.
love it. kind
Mhm.
of being on set, building films, which kind of leads into production house
Mhm.
backwards. But
Yeah.
um, production house was essentially started by me and my business partner Ryan, who was the one that went to film school and things. Um, and back to, I didn't know how to get a show reel, I didn't know how to get headshots and da, da, da. So we essentially started kind of making films ourselves.
Mhm.
We started off making very, very short films, 1 minute films, 3 minute films, and it was essentially giving me the footage I needed, giving him the practice behind the camera,
Yeah.
and it's just grown exponentially. I mean, production house, we've made a number of films now that have won multiple awards across international film festivals. And it's just essentially grew from like I say, making little films to people now bringing us scripts and saying, right,
Wow.
right, I've got a bit of funding, I want you guys to make it because I like how you make it look, I like how you work, I like the environment on set that you create. So now my sort of title is I'm an actor uh, and a producer, and I think the production side just came to life very easily for me. It started off as like a location manager. Because of the construction side, I've drove all over the country visiting sites and clients for kind of 10 years. So, and I'd
Yeah.
always been noting down kind of weird and wonderful kind of places. I'd be like, "Oh, I just drove past that abandoned building, that looked amazing."
Yeah.
So on my Google Maps, it looks like it's just hundreds of pins of
Yeah.
like different film locations and different ideas and things. So it sort of stemmed from that. And then it was a case of I've always been quite resourceful, so we've
Mhm.
been able to shoot up in the air in a four-man airplane.
Mhm.
We've been able to get into sort of kind of barracks. We've
Wow.
shot in a 1500s castle that was gifted to Robert the Bruce. And we've got all of this through just being resourceful.
Mm.
I mean, raising a bit of money ourselves as well through our other jobs and businesses, but
Mhm.
just like I say, just trying to create the path so that there's no option for it to be a no, essentially, because we're just
Mhm.
doing it ourselves, you know. So
Mhm.
eventually, it'll come, and the more people see our stuff and jump on the bandwagon with us, it's only going to help.
Wow. Do you know that
Mm.
the whole shoulds, the quote unquote shoulds, like that a lot of people live by has been like a recurring thing when I've been speaking to people is like that whole living the life of like what you should do, like
Yeah,
that whole, do you know what I mean? Society expects of you. So it's so refreshing to hear so many stories that are like, no, I know I'm destined for more, like I know there's more to it. And obviously
yeah,
subconsciously your brain's been already thinking about things if you're doing on construction sites and you're actually like, oh no, actually that's really cool for. So
yeah,
obviously it's even though it was you weren't actually actively doing it, it's obviously still been working in the back of
yeah.
your mind, and you've created something that wasn't there now, which is amazing. Like
Mm.
it's
Thank you.
it's the best of both, isn't it, really? And so
Massively.
your friend that you're now a business partner with, were you always friends, or did it just so happen it was like a chance meeting and then
Yeah, so our parents were friends when we were really young.
right?
He's 2 years younger than me.
Okay.
And obviously now that's kind of nothing, but when you're in high school and stuff. So, I mean, we
Mm.
were always kind of knew of each other, but kind of through high school and stuff, we didn't really hang about in the same sort of groups.
Hmm.
So when I was 21, 20, he would have been 18, 19.
Yeah.
We were at an engagement party together, and you ended up there, and then we just kind of hit it off from there, and again been kind of best mates since as such, and his family's like a family to me, and we kind of treat them the same, you know. It's
Yeah, and he's the production side of it then, like more to do with like the kind of the backstage of it.
So he's a director and cinematographer. So
Wow.
he's the one that'll essentially take your script and bring it to life on the set.
Hmm.
So he's directing actors, he's directing the shot so that it looks like what we want the film to look like.
Hmm.
And then his dream is just to be a director and sort of drop the cinematography side. But
Hmm.
he's just too good at cinematography. So
Yeah.
we can't find anyone to replace him yet. But we've
Brilliant.
still got pictures of him.
Would you say, obviously you mentioned your dad passing away, would you say that was a catalyst then for like that life's too short, kind of like we need to go all in here?
Yeah, massively as well. And
Mm.
since then, I've been like properly kind of fuck it. Like,
Hmm.
it will happen one way or another. It's just
Hmm.
I've sort of chose this sort of lifestyle of it now, and I'm pushing for it as a lifestyle. I don't expect anything from anyone from parts to funding to anything else. You know, it's I'm going to work for it, and until someone else sees me as he's the guy that we need for this, then we're just going to keep on creating our own films, and
Hmm.
I'll just put myself in the position that I see is right, and until then, which is giving me the screen time to get better and try things and adapt, but also it's putting me as lead or kind of co-lead wherever I see myself
Yeah.
right, you
And it's
know.
giving you more experience, isn't it, as well? Like practice makes it, and I hate practice make perfect, but it makes progress, doesn't it? Like no matter what you're doing, what skill set you're doing.
Yeah, it's massively one of those as well. Like everything that I've ever acted in, I look back on it and straight away I'm like, I would have done that different. So every
Mm.
time I know that I'm learning so much because it's not even like that was pretty good. I would change. It's always like, nah, I would do that totally different. So
Hmm.
just having that awareness as well, I think is
Yeah.
great, and having the opportunity to make all this. I mean, in terms of what's out on Netflix and Amazon and BBC, there's probably 3 minutes worth of me on there across everything that I've ever been in.
Hmm.
But through all the short films that we've made and things, it's been hours and hours of takes. So
Yeah.
it's you know, if I hadn't done that, I don't know if I'd be as confident in my ability as I am now.
Yeah, for sure. And you
Mm.
mentioned there about like you'll work hard no matter what, you don't expect things from anybody. I think sometimes that's where people fall short on is they think that they just click their fingers and th magic things happen sometimes. So what does that look like then? What does that look like the work ethic? What does that look like?
So an example is I hear a lot of filmmakers and things who they'll say, "Oh, if I don't, well, there's a few that have said, you know, if I don't get the funding for this film, then I'm just going to scrap it."
Mm,
Like, but do you believe in it? And it's a
mm,
case of if you do, then you're going to find the funding. I mean, you find the funding to feed yourself, you find the funding for your house. How important is it to you to go and
mm,
find the money to make something? I mean, everything that we've made so far has been entirely self-funded, as I mentioned.
wow.
So, um, I mean, we are very resourceful as well. So, I mean, we
Mm,
get a lot of things for trade and free. We have a lot of skills with kind of cameras and things, so we can always switch out service for service and things.
mm,
Um, but in terms of the work ethic that's kind of went in, it's been starting a number of kind of businesses within the media industry.
mm,
One for events, so we shoot events. Ryan does a lot of weddings, and then we've got a business that will create essentially commercials for businesses. We'll create marketing content for them, whether it be for kind of social media, YouTube, Sky News, whatever you want it to be
mm,
on. We can create that from a basic level right up to kind of £50,000 worth of commercials and things. You know,
wow.
we're at that kind of space now with the crew that we've built and things around us. So it's a good place, but it's been a lot of networking because it's an industry of people
Yeah.
massively, and everything that we've made has been a product of everyone showing up and putting in their sort of 1%. And every
Hmm.
set that we go on, most of the time we've not brought back the exact same crew because we
Hmm.
like there might have been people that were phenomenal. We might have felt a little slip somewhere, so we sort of know where we need to change and move. So again, it's a case of networking and figuring out who's out there in the industry that can one add to the process that we're doing, but mainly bring the sort of vibe that we always look to create on set.
Hmm.
Because I've been on sets where it can be. I don't want to say stressful because I'll never be stressed on a set because I'm just so like happy to be in that
Yeah.
environment. But some people that just they treat it like a corporate job. And with
Mm.
that comes egos, with that comes people being made uncomfortable, whether it be through small conflict. Not everyone likes a conflict, and as soon as someone raises a head, it can put heads down, and it's just any sort of negativity on our sets, and it's like, sorry,
It's
but
not on. Yeah, yeah.
we're probably not going to work with you again.
Hmm.
I mean, some people it might be worth a chat, like, oh, see the way you said that, or blah, blah,
Hmm.
blah. But most of the time, I'm not here to tell people how to live. It's just we're going to find our crew and we're going to
Hmm.
find our people. They're going to find us. And I
Hmm.
think the more that you pursue it and just kind of keep pushing out the message that sort of you want to kind of put out as well, then the right people will find you.
Yeah. And what is that message then? What is your message?
It's inclusivity and the fact that this isn't a corporate job. What I love
Mhm.
about sets is I've stood around a few times and noticed this that every single person, in my opinion, on a film set has chosen to be there. They've went off and worked and done however many years of studying. They've invested in kit, invested in themselves, and every single person wants to be there.
Hmm.
Whereas against my jobs in the construction industry, oh, how did you end up here? Ah, my dad works here.
Yeah.
People just fall into a lot of jobs, which is absolutely
Hmm.
fine. But what I love about a film set is that everyone has chosen to be there. And 99.9% of people that I've met are as passionate as me about it. And they just
Hmm.
absolutely love to be there. That's why some of the days are like 18-hour days, like
Hmm.
7 days in a
Doesn't
row.
feel like that.
18, it's insane.
Yeah.
Like the sort of hours that people put in, no one ever complains.
Hmm.
I've never really heard anyone complain for that.
Hmm.
You know, it's
Ugh,
it's,
amazing.
it's
So
interesting.
what does it look like moving forward? Like, what is the big vision? What is the big like dream vision?
Yeah, the ideal vision of, I mean, if we said 5 years from now, it's to be a series regular on something, to be on set, flying around the world and working on film for the majority of my year.
Hmm.
Um, production house still at a point that we're growing and making our own films. But what I really want production house to be is like a funnel for talent coming through in Scotland, so that when we are hopefully overseas working on films and things, it's still bringing people through.
Yeah, yeah,
We just recently kind of signed to kind of partner up with two writers who both have a lot of production experience as well, and they've essentially came on board to work with us as a crew. So it's this sort of board of kind of four of us now that can now start to bring people in.
yeah. Hmm.
And every time we'll try and bring like a trainee in, we'll try and bring someone else, we'll try and bring someone new, so that
The learning.
that these sort of crews will just continue to build, and hopefully when we're long gone, it's still going, it's still making films. But
Hmm.
A24, I don't know if you know that production company. You would have
Hmm.
definitely seen some of their films and stuff because it's some of the biggest films on Netflix and Amazon.
Right, okay.
Um, but for production house to be the new A24 is what I want. That's who people take scripts to and say, I want you guys to make this, or they have
Right.
their own stories, but they have their own studios to essentially pull it together. So that's that's the ideal dream, to be out there doing it every day while also having our own company that's continuing to kind of pump out local and regional films.
Yeah, amazing. And I think it's so difficult, isn't it, in Scotland? Like I know my daughter wants to be an actress
Mhm.
and she's only 13. And I'm kind of saying, oh, you need to go and put yourself out into places like to see to get exposure and all that sort of stuff. I know she's only young, um but she's got in her head that she has to go to New York, like that's where she has to go. And I'm saying, well, you need to kind of start here. But it is difficult though for actors to act here, isn't it? Like in Scotland, in comparison to the kind of the rest of the world, or some of the rest of the world.
I don't know. I mean, the
No,
industry
is
is,
it not?
I've no idea. I've
No.
never really tried, but
Mm.
yeah, it's I think it's a global problem in the way that there's not enough funding for how much people want to
Mm.
make.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
if people got more funding to make more, it's still drowned out. So it's like it's kind of it's having a product that is good enough for someone to come and invest in us. And uh, that's exactly why I mentioned there that I don't expect anyone from anyone until we've made something that people can say, I believe in that and I know that
yeah,
it's going to bring me a return. So I'm investing in this.
yeah,
Until then, like kind of crowdfunding and things, it's people asking everyone for £5 or £10.
yeah,
I just don't want to do that. Not everyone's got £5 or £10 to give.
yeah,
I think everyone should spend their £5 or £10 on their own needs.
yeah,
But kind of going out to businesses and things and crowdfunding that way, going out to a business and telling them that there's such a way that they can write off their funding as like a marketing cost and things,
yeah,
as
yeah.
a sort of tax write off. I believe in that. There's sort of
Mhm.
more creative ways of kind of getting the funding to make it, but whether it's here or abroad, I don't know how
Probably the
much more
same.
difficult it is. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
probably the same. I mean, if you went abroad, yes, you'd be a Scot in New York, you'd
That's
be
true.
doing
You stick,
it. But
stick it.
yeah, so it's certainly
You
got its
mentioned there about like believing in it. I think no matter what, like no matter what people did decide in their career or their life or whatever, if they're changing something, it's so important to have the belief, isn't it? Because if you don't have the belief, then then you're going to hit a stumbling block, and then it's just going to be like, oh well, like didn't work. Oh well. Do you know
yeah.
what I mean?
If you don't believe it yourself, then why should you ask anyone else to? It's
Hmm. And did you always have that belief even when you were younger?
yeah, yeah. I remember
Yeah.
it. I've no idea why or if it would even have meant anything to him. But I always remember in my dad's car, I'd always say, "I'll buy you a Lamborghini one day." I don't know if it was a Lamborghini actual thing or if it was just a statement of like I want to
Like,
help, I want to look
I'm going to look
after.
after you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So I'd always believed in big things and more. For whatever reason, I wanted it back then. It was probably just because I had a poster on my wall and I really liked cars. But
yeah.
no, it's still the same drive, just for different things.
For
It's,
sure. And what
it's
about if you could go back? So what age were you when you first started doing the acting, like when you were younger? P6, did you say?
primary five, primary six, probably
What's
drama
that like? It's
school.
like 8 or something like that,
Yeah, 8,
maybe?
9 probably.
What would you, if you could go back and speak to your younger self, what would you say to them?
What was I saying?
It can be, it doesn't necessarily need to be that age, just then, like if you could
No,
go back
yeah,
and say it.
yeah. I don't, I don't really know because I think everything that's happened has shaped me for where I need to be.
Absolutely.
Um, I've I've always believed in myself, no matter what I was doing, whether it was martial arts and stuff. You're going into a ring, so you obviously believe that you can win
Yeah.
in some part of you. So yeah, and I don't really know what I'd
No?
change, to be honest. No, I've enjoyed my my 33 years here so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be
And
honest,
would
I
you
don't
even
know.
like not necessarily to change anything, like would you just what would you tell your former self? Would you say like is there anything you would tell them?
It would probably be always believe in yourself, and
Yeah.
in some way, I always wanted to live forever. So,
Yeah. Peter
so
Pan.
I think that's essentially whatever you're going to leave here is
Yeah.
is going to you living forever. So it's creating something that's going to allow that. So
Have a
that
legacy.
that probably would be it. Yeah, it would just be believe in yourself and create what you feel is right.
hmm That's
Yeah.
beautiful though. It's a beautiful thing to say, go back and say for sure. And so you've got all these visions for the future, which is exciting. What has there any time has there been a moment of not believing, of being like, I can't do this or anything like that? Or has it always just been like laser focused, this is happening? Even with it being that with martial arts or with acting or with
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. I think no. I think I've always sort of been if I'm doing it, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, in film, it's I'm more just kind of laugh at it. Like I've accepted that it's massively a lifetime pursuit, and
Mm,
if you're someone that does say, "Oh, if this one doesn't work, then that's it. I'm not doing it."
mhm,
It was probably never for
for sure. Oh,
apart from the sort of time that you put in to make something happen.
yeah, I
No,
lost you a wee bit
yeah.
there.
Oh, sorry.
You're back, you're good.
No, just saying. I think it's I don't think I've ever kind of questioned, especially not acting. Ever
Yeah,
since I said that I was going to do it in my head, it's been like this is what I am and this is what I do. I mean, there's obviously little things that sort of crop up, and I just kind of laugh at it. For example, I'd since kind of starting, I've probably written out to the casting director of River City probably 4 or 5 times,
wow.
um, just saying, "Here's my stuff. I'm alive, but I'm alive and I'm 10 minutes away. So if
Aye,
you get any opportunity, I'm here." Which is most of the emails to a casting director that go into the scrap bin anyway.
yeah,
But this year, yeah, this year I got 1 day on River City, and I was part of a hospital scene after Lenny jumped off a roof. So he was in like a psychiatric sort of kind of
right,
group,
okay.
kind of a sort of therapy group, and so I was in this scene. It all went well. Went home, emailed my agent, spoke to the casting director again, found the email and emailed out just saying, "Look, I just want you to know that I've now been introduced in River City. I'm going to be in Scotland for the next 18 months at least. I would love to be a part of it in any way that I can because it's the longest standing Scottish show, and to
Yeah.
have some sort of legacy in it would be an absolutely honour." So I sent the email. 25 minutes later, after 22 years, River City was cancelled. I
No.
was like, for fuck's sake. I was like, I was
I
on
didn't
it
even know it
like,
was cancelled. Oh my
I was
goodness.
like, fucking, what did I do? Like, I was on it for like 5 minutes. Like, what have I done?
Do you know what? At least
Yeah,
you checked that box and you got it done. And it just shows you the power of consistency, isn't it?
yeah,
Like again, with
yeah.
any sort of transformation or any change, it's like you need to be consistent. You
Yeah,
can't just do it one,
absolutely.
it's not a one and done thing.
Exactly. Yeah, but they couldn't believe it after it running for that length of time, and I broke it out after over bloody two decades. It's insane. But Maureen of Firewalker Pictures, she's pretty much sealed the deal to buy and save Dumbarton Studios, where
Oh,
River
wow.
Styx filmed. It's like Scotland's probably the biggest studio, and it was
Yeah,
about to be flattened and turned into
the
houses.
houses. Aye.
That was pretty much the done deal, and Maureen has stepped in and done an amazing job to
Oh,
properly
wow.
save Dumbarton Studios. So,
So there's still hope.
oh, absolutely not for River City, I don't think,
I know.
but
Maybe
but
call
for,
it
for
something
other
else.
films, yeah, yeah, they had their chance with me. They've had it. See what happens.
Right. So what, who
Um,
has helped you on this path of getting to where you are? Like you've obviously been, like you said, you've networked a lot, you've done a lot of different things. Who's helped you on this path?
I think from the sort of business and sort of growth and belief within the industry, probably my business partner Ryan,
Nice.
him going in and sort of doing his acting school and then into film school, it just kind of drew me in massively. So I don't know if I would have been doing this now if he hadn't went on his path. I don't know. I hope so, but
Mm-hmm.
that we're here now regardless. Um, First acting coach I had, Kat Harrison. She runs an acting school in Glasgow now. She was phenomenal. I like to say that she gave me a driving license essentially, which then allowed me to go out and sort of learn the craft. Ian Glenn, who Scottish actor, he was the lead on The Rig, an Amazon Prime show. I
Mm-hmm.
managed to get on that. I was on it for basically 6 months over lockdown, and it
Oh
was
wow.
the most phenomenal experience. He was just with us all day. He would give you the sort of time of day. We would talk. I'd asked his advice and things. He's also a guitar player, so I
Mm-hmm.
spent a lot of time talking about guitars and things. And
Mm-hmm.
he just being able to watch him on set was a real honor.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way that he moves, the way that he works, and I just tried to compose myself like him. I mean, a lot of supporting artist tents and sort of hideouts. It's always a little grubby corner somewhere that we're sort of kind of stuck in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I just sort of composed myself like him on and offset.
Oh
And
wow.
with that, I ended up getting an audition to get a line on the rig. So I had a few lines on it, which then in turn landed me my first agent. So
Right.
just kind of being around him and just seeing how he conducted himself sort of got me on the first step essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a
And do
few
you
of
know
the
what? You'll
main.
probably never know how much of an impact that you he had on you, which is actually so beautiful, isn't it? It's such
Yeah.
a nice way to know that you've made that impact, or not know that you've made that impact, and it's like the ripple effect. Because then now that's got you in your place that you're doing when you are going to have the same effect in other
Yeah.
people, which is so beautiful.
Like,
Yeah, it's amazing. So, what strengths have you found in yourself as you went through this kind of path? What kind of strengths have you noticed within yourself?
I think resilience is probably my biggest
Mm.
one. Because it was
You
like,
need to have an acting though, don't you? For sure.
yeah, like from sort of agreeing to like I said, like agreeing to do it, but from like a deciding to do it was pretty much when my dad got kind of sick and things. So like the last 6 years, I've just been a huge kind of lifestyle change,
Mhm.
and everything that I wanted, I was pursuing, um, and just whole kind of thought process on life essentially has
Yeah.
changed. So I think resilience through all of that, and just a belief beyond anything. Um,
Mhm.
and probably change the way that kind of view other people and things as well, and just want to kind of help and sort of bring people together. And but yeah, it's kind of changed me massively. I mean, I met my partner now in an acting class as well in 2021, and we now get married next year. Something that I
Oh,
thought
nice.
would never ever be for me. So it's been massive lifestyle change in the last 6 years. So I think resilience is probably the biggest thing
Mhm.
that I've realized I have.
It's incredible when I've spoken about this quite a lot recently, is like how these coincidence opportunities can then literally transform. what life looks like, isn't it? It's like these total chance if you weren't there at that time or your partner wasn't and stuff like that. But like on that massive scale, like there's so
Yeah.
many different chance things that you're like, if that didn't happen, this wouldn't have happened, which is incredible. And the fact that you like when there has been a pain, like when your dad passing away, like that's been a catalyst for you pursuing like a life that's dictated by you, really, isn't it? Like that's the dream, isn't it? Is this having like a life by design?
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So what does life look like right now?
We just bought our first place in Glasgow.
Hmm.
We've been renovating the last 6 months, so while
Nice.
also being the busiest time of my life, work exploded big time on all fronts. So I'm now setting it up for next year so that I can hand out a lot of work to guys that I
Mhm.
work with and not necessarily putting in all the time. But with wedding and buying a house and renovating, it was like, right, I need to get busy and do as much of it myself as I possibly can. And I also landed my biggest part this year that I'm not allowed to talk about yet, but it was a time travel show that's been a long time running in Scotland that's loved by the Americans.
Right.
And I was kind of proper cast on that. I had lines, a character name, and things. So they booked me for like 12 weeks this year, and it was phenomenal. It was the best experience ever. It
Wow.
was the proper special treatment, picked up and dropped off from the house, a trailer. What would you like for breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Wow.
And,
I
and
should
then
get a taste of it now.
well, and then a week later, I'm sitting in a tent in the pissing rain up in Aberdeen, like.
Nothing
So
like a wee bit of humbling, do you know what I
exactly,
mean? Bring you back
exactly.
down to earth.
It's amazing though. It is funny, like, and like at all levels of it, I just enjoy. I mean, I'm still signed up with an SA
Mhm.
agency as well, and what I tend to do is, my agent will obviously got kind of based down in London. He'll get first call of all the parts that come out. So
Mhm.
ideally, I get an audition, I land a part. If not, they fly by. A few sort of side parts come out, and if I don't get them, then I see through an SA agency that
Mhm.
they're looking for essays on this day, and I already know that I've not got a part on it, so I'll still go jump on it. I'll still go introduce myself to the director and say, oh, by the way, I was put forward for that part, but I can see why this guy got it. He's phenomenal, or I
Yeah.
don't look like the part, or whatever it may be. So, just trying to kind of snake your way around. I'm
Like you
very
say
good
though,
at
it's
getting
about
around. So,
again, it's about getting in the room, isn't it? It's about getting in the places and still being around it, regardless if it's not the exact thing that you actually wanted it to look like. Do you know what I mean? It's still creating an opportunity where you can still gain something from it,
yeah,
which is incredible. That's what you want for sure.
I think so. Yeah.
Absolutely, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's fabulous. And what would you? So your production house,
Yeah.
that is that. Obviously, you used that almost as like a little, not a little. Obviously, it's massive, but it's a
Well,
Scottish thing, isn't
yeah.
it? We just say little for everything. But you used that as a gateway into getting something that you didn't have, effectively, isn't it? Because you didn't have the things in order to get onto the places and whatever, and it was that catch-22.
Yeah.
So you've obviously therefore created something that wasn't there in order for you to be able to have what you needed. So is that what is that what the whole idea of the production house is to help people who were in your position and didn't have that, or is it different?
Not now. It's more
It's
just
different.
to
Hmm.
create film, TV, and documentary. Um,
Hmm.
and our plans are just to keep growing bigger and better. But yeah, saying that we do work as a production partner. So we just finished off a film a few weeks back there where a friend of ours had a script. He had a little bit of budget, but he was missing a few crew. He was missing some cast. He was missing locations. So he came to us, and we basically bolted together kind of two production companies working hand in hand to sort
Oh,
of provide
nice.
the sort of full package. So we do work as a production partner with kind of students and things, and that might be that we just help them find a location. It might
Yeah.
be that we take their script and we make the full thing for them, depending
Hmm.
on how much money they have and how much we like the story. So it's sort
Hmm.
of that sort of balances it out, and always make the joke as well that it will be cheaper if there's a part for me in it.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure, absolutely. So people can reach out to you guys if they've got like scripts and stuff like that, and they can reach out.
Absolutely.
Amazing, because like you say, it's helping people, isn't it? And creating that impact is a lovely thing to do for sure. Amazing. Well, is there anything else that you want to share with us that is
No, I could talk forever once we
talk
touch
forever?
on
I listen so
it.
good at it's terrible.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'll
just
ask you a couple of wee last. I always ask the younger self one, but we've done that already. What do you do? So obviously, like life can sounds like it could be all sugar, all shite, and all in between, and all the rest of it. Like, what do you do to stay grounded? Go to Aberdeen and sit in a tent.
exactly, yeah. Probably probably training, whether it's gym or martial arts or whatever. I train every day and have
Hmm.
done ever since. I mean, I started kind of skiing and football when I was like kind of 2 years old, and martial arts when I was like three. So I've
Hmm.
just it's something I've always done, and it's a non-negotiable for me,
Hmm.
to kind of train somewhat every day. So I think that's probably where I get my peace. And working with kind of coaches and things like Kirsty Strain,
Hmm.
who I know you know as well, and just working with people like that that just help you to sort of reground and refocus. And yeah, I think just continuing to look after yourself in every way you can.
I think that the power of having a coach is massive. I think people
Mm.
underestimate like how important that is. But like even most coaches have coaches because they know something. Like they know they're a wee step ahead, and therefore they get you there quicker than what the time it took them, sort of a thing, doesn't it? So it's important to have these people in your corner as well. And like you say, sometimes a bit of shift of perspective or whatever, and it just allows you to just see things in a different light.
Yeah, yeah. So other than that, it would just be if anyone has a business that they're looking for branded content, they're looking for events to be
Yes.
shot, then yeah, we're the guys, and you're also investing into a film career. So you're getting something beautiful at the end of it while helping us to invest in ourselves and make Scottish cinema.
Amazing, 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 amazing. So where can we find you? Where can anybody that's listening find you?
Websites at Production House, as Scottish as it's spelt,
Yeah,
and KMcG Media is what we shoot our sort of business and content side of things and event content through.
amazing. And am I right in saying you were a musician as well?
I play guitar. I done musical theatre when I was younger, but
Mhm.
yeah, I'm hoping to stop being a shy bag with because I can
Oh,
sing
okay.
I can sing a little bit. I can sing a little bit. Play guitar all right. And just I'm hoping to get some music out this year, but for some reason I'm still a shite bag with singing. Fine
It's
in front
funny
of
that,
camera and
isn't it?
everything else, but yeah, I'm still a shite bag with it.
Just now you just need to do it. Now I'm going to be on your tail
Exactly.
and be like, have you done
Exactly.
it?
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Oh, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure to speak to you. Thank you so much. And I'll pop all your wee stuff in the show notes as well. All
Thank you.
righty.
Appreciate
Thank you
that.
so much. Sweet
Thank
as
you.
in. Bye. Right, I'll stop.